Hello sports fans, welcome to Super Sports Central. Today we have my Week 11 NFL predictions. So last week I had a record of 8-6, which brings my overall record on the season to 88-62. Starting off this week on Thursday Night Football, we have the Titans visiting the Packers. So this is a game I could see going either way. The Packers got a much needed win last week against the Cowboys in overtime, and they could look to build on that. For the Titans, they've struggled offensively lately, but Derrick Henry is the focal point of their offense, and they face a Packers run defense that allows about 140 rushing yards a game. The Packers showed life offensively last week against the Cowboys, and again they look to build on that against a banged-up Titans defense. I could see this game going either way, but I'll take the Packers getting another much-needed win as they defeat the Titans on Thursday Night Football, winning 28-24. Moving to Sunday's games, we have the Falcons hosting the Bears. So the Falcons are coming off a Thursday Night Football loss to the Panthers, while the Bears are coming off a close loss to the Lions. Both teams look to run the football, as they have these teams are two of the three worst passing offenses in the NFL. The Bears don't have a great run defense, and the Falcons have a decent run defense. So that could be the difference in this game, but that's not the difference to me. To me, the difference is Justin Fields, and I think he's going to make more key plays and big plays, leading the Bears to a victory over the Falcons, because he's been great recently, and I think he continues his hot streak as the Bears win this one 27-19. Up next, we have the Bills hosting the Browns. So the Bills definitely need a bounce back win here. They've lost two straight, and they don't want to make the third in a row to a Browns team that is coming off a really bad game against the Dolphins, where they allowed 39 points and gave up almost 500 yards of total offense. I expect another bad game from the Browns defense, and I expect a big offensive day for the Bills, as the Bills win this game by a score of 36-22. Up next, we have the Eagles visiting the Colts. So the Eagles are coming off their first loss of the season, and are playing on a short week. Now the Eagles need to show that their loss on Monday Night Football to the Commanders was just a bad game, and not the start of a second half collapse. Because in the previous two seasons, the teams to start off undefeated both have had second half collapses, with the Steelers being 2 years ago and the Cardinals being last year. So for the Colts, they are coming off a surprising win over the Raiders, where Jeff Saturday's head coaching debut was actually pretty good. And they also turned to Matt Ryan at quarterback. Now the Colts are a run-first team with Jonathan Taylor at running back. The Eagles have a run defense. They gave up 152 rushing yards to the Commanders last week, and it was because they were without rookie defensive tackle Jordan Davis. Now they're going to be without Jordan Davis again this week, so that could definitely be concerning for the Eagles, but I think they're going to bounce back and get the 30-21 win. Up next, we have the Patriots hosting the Jets. So this is a big game for both teams based off playoff implications. The Jets are 6-3, the Patriots are 5-4. The Patriots won when the Jets hosted this game in a defensive battle. I would expect another defensive battle between these two teams, and the Jets could have won the Patriots defense, but now in New England here, I'm going to take the Patriots getting the win 23-18. Moving on, we have the Saints hosting the Rams. So the Rams have some key injuries, like Matthew Stafford, who missed last week's game with a concussion, but he did return to practice on Wednesday. But now the Rams are going to be without arguably the best receiver in football, Cooper Kupp, for this week and also the next 4 games, as he's out with a high ankle sprain. Now, Kupp is such a big part of the Rams' offense that Matthew Stafford's touchdown-to-interception ratio when targeting Cooper Kupp is 6-4, whereas when he's targeting other players, he has thrown 2 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. For the Saints, they announced Andy Dalton as their starter, although Coach Dennis Allen did say he considered a quarterback switch. But I could see this game going either way, but I'll take the Rams getting the win, even without Cooper Kupp, as they're going to win this one 26-20. Moving on, we have the Lions visiting the Giants. So the Giants have been good this season, and now the Lions actually have the opportunity to win 3 games in a row after they beat the Bears last week and the Packers 2 weeks ago. Giants have a run-first offense with rushing leader Saquon Barkley. He is very close to 1,000 yards. And now they face the second worst run defense in the league. And the Lions have been pretty good offensively, so they might be able to score, although the Giants do have a pretty good defense. And I'm going to take the Giants getting the win here, scoring 31 points and only allowing 23, which I believe 31 would be a season high for the Giants. And I'll take the Giants getting the win here, 31-23. Up next, we have the Ravens hosting the Panthers. So the Panthers will be starting Baker Mayfield with Sam Darnold backing him up after P.J. Walker suffered an ankle injury last week on Thursday Night Football in the win over the Falcons. The Ravens are coming off a bye and could be getting Mark Andrews back from a shoulder injury, which would definitely boost their offense. And the Ravens' defense has also been better lately, which isn't good for the Panthers, who have struggled offensively this season. The Ravens will get the win here as they defeat the Panthers, winning by a score of 31-14. Up next, we have the Commanders going to Houston to take on the Texans. So the Commanders are coming off a huge upset win over the Eagles, where they ended their undefeated season. The Commanders also named Taylor Heinicke their starter this week against the Texans. Now for the Texans, they've been pretty bad at stopping the run this season, actually the worst rushing defense in the league. And running the ball is how the Commanders beat the Eagles. So I'll go with the Commanders getting the win here over the Texans, winning by a score of 27-17. Up next, we have the Raiders visiting the Broncos. So this is a very interesting game. Both teams have been very disappointing so far this season. The Broncos have had trouble scoring, and the Raiders' defense has had trouble stopping their opponents. Now, for the Broncos and Raiders, the Broncos host this game, but the Raiders got the win earlier when they hosted this game. And now, I could see this game going either way. I think the Raiders probably should get the win, but the NFL has been pure chaos this season. I don't think either team is amazing and is good enough to get a season sweep of the other, so I'll take the Broncos getting the win here, 21-17. Up next, we have the Vikings hosting the Cowboys. So this is a big game for both teams. The Vikings return home after having a huge overtime win over the Bills last week, and the Cowboys are on the road for a second straight game after losing to the Packers in overtime last week. And the Cowboys' defense looked vulnerable last week, and now they face one of the top wide receivers in the game, Justin Jefferson. So that could be a complete recipe for disaster. I could see this game going either way, but I'll take the Vikings beating yet another good team as they get the win here at 32-28. Moving on, we have the Bengals visiting the Steelers. So the Steelers are coming off their first win of the season with Kenny Pickett as their starting quarterback. The Steelers defense also got TJ Watt back from injury, and they look like a different team with and without him, especially defensively. The defense looked really good, and now they face a Bengals offense, which is also really good. And I think the Steelers defense could be up to the task of stopping the Bengals offense, but I think the Bengals is just going to be too much for the Steelers defense to handle, and the Bengals will get the win here by a score of 30-20. Up next, we have Sunday Night Football, and that is the Chargers hosting the Chiefs. So we will have a live watch party for this game starting about 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday. The Chiefs' offense has been great, especially on the road this season. They scored 40-plus points in 3 of their 4 road games this season. Now, the Chargers haven't been great this season, but they've been good. I think this is going to be a shootout. Both teams will put up a lot of points, but in the end, I think the Chiefs will end up getting the win. And if they do end up winning this game, it will be a huge division lead, as it will, the division lead for the Chiefs will be 3 games. And if the Chargers get the win, the Chiefs' lead on the division will only be 1 game. But I'll take the Chiefs getting the win here at 37-33. And finally, Monday Night Football, we have the 49ers against the Cardinals in Mexico City. So we will also have a live watch party for this game starting about 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Monday. So for the Cardinals, Kyler Murray is dealing with a hamstring injury, and that forced him to miss last week's game against the Rams. But the Cardinals were still able to get the win because quarterback Colt McCoy was pretty good at replacing Kyler Murray. And for the 49ers, they've been good this season, and I think they should get the win as long as Colt McCoy starts, just because I think they're the better team if the Cardinals don't have that difference maker and guy that can really extend plays and make plays with the legs in Kyler Murray at quarterback. But even if Kyler Murray starts, I'll still take the 49ers, but I think it would be closer. But overall, I'll take the 49ers winning in Mexico City, winning by a score of 29-23. So those are my Week 11 NFL predictions. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. I do my best to post as often as possible. Let me know in the comments below if you agree with my predictions, disagree, and why. Make sure to check out the community tab of my channel where you guys can vote on who you think will win some of this week's big games. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. I do my best to post as often as possible, and I will see you in the next video.